Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. As you can see from the number of agencies and organizations represented here today, that this is an issue that's very important to us. This is about education, safety, and protecting our communities. Families need to know the difference between a legal e-bike and an electric motorcycle that are not street legal for use. These vehicles are putting young riders, drivers, and pedestrians at a high risk. Recently, there is an increasing number of e-motorcycles that are being ridden illegally on our streets, particularly by young drivers. We've seen the impacts of these crashes and what they can have on not just the riders, but the families and our entire neighborhoods. And it's our responsibility to prevent tragedies from happening. That's why we're here today. So by standing alongside our partners, we want our community to know that this is about more than enforcement. It's about keeping people safe and making sure that parents and riders have the information they need to make good choices. Getting on one of these illegal motorcycles today can impact the lives of these young kids down the road, whether it's when they're trying to get their driver's license or if they're involved in a crash that hurts themselves or someone else. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Officer Nick Tamani from the San Diego PD's Traffic Division to talk about the differences between e-bikes and some of our laws. Nick?
Thank you, Commander. Good morning, everybody. My name is Nick Tamani. I'm a traffic officer with the San Diego Police Department. During my traffic duties, I regularly encounter kids as young as 11 years old riding these electric motorcycles. We have seen an uptick in crashes, especially serious injury traffic collisions involving kids on motorcycles. They can lawfully ride an electric bicycle in the city of San Diego. However, they cannot ride a motorcycle. There's no difference in giving your child the keys to your car. This is a legal Class 2 electric bicycle. It goes up to 20 miles an hour. However, these electric motorcycles can go anywhere from 46 to 80 miles an hour. One thing to keep in mind when you're looking for a bicycle to purchase for your child or yourself is that electric bicycles all share two things in common. They have fully functional pedals, not just for show, and they have a max power of about 750 watts. If you are on a bicycle that exceeds 750 watts, you are actually not on a bicycle. You are likely on a moped or a motorcycle. Like I said, these motorcycles are riding on our roadways and intermingling with the rest of the motoring public, and now we are seeing children getting seriously injured and hurt on them. It's crazy to think that you can go 46 to 50 miles an hour as an 11-year-old child on our road. So please, parents, be mindful when you're picking out a bicycle for your child. Do not pick out a motorcycle. Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Tamani. Next, I'd like to introduce Chief Rangers from the California State Parks, Chief Ranger Nicole Van Doren and Andrew Alberg.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Commander. I'm Chief Ranger Nicole Van Doren with California State Parks San Diego Coast District, and we're here to talk about these e-bikes and e-motorcycles within our local community as well as within our local state park units, both here in San Diego County and throughout the state. These e-bikes and e-motorcycles are rapidly gaining in popularity, and in an effort to provide high-quality recreation while also maintaining a safe environment for all park users, e-bikes are actually not permitted within the California State Park system except on public roadways. Public roadways are defined as roads open to the public for street legal vehicles. This means e-bikes cannot be legally operated on local beaches and trails. There are some exceptions, limited exceptions within certain California State Parks units throughout the state, and we encourage everyone to check our website or to call a local state parks office to obtain additional information. I'll now turn it over to my colleague, Chief Ranger Andrew Alberg from Ocotillo Wells, to discuss off-highway vehicle use and electric motorcycles.
Thank you, Nicole. Good morning. I've been asked to come here today. By the way, I'm Andrew Alberg. I'm a Chief Ranger for the Ocotillo Wells District of California State Parks. I've been asked to talk about the legalities around electric motorcycles, commonly known as e-motos. If you have an electric motorcycle that is properly registered and has a green sticker, you can legally use that around the state at any area that is designated for off-highway vehicle use. In San Diego County, we have approximately 124,000 acres available. Ocotillo Wells State Vehicular Recreation Area, the Cleveland National Forest, and lands managed by the Bureau of Land Management. If you do not have a green sticker, the only legal place that you can operate an electric motorcycle is on private property. In order to get your electric motorcycle properly registered and issued a green sticker, we recommend you work through your local Department of Motor Vehicles office for the specifics around that. If there's one thing that you can take away from today, is that electric motorcycles are not electric bicycles. And as such, they cannot be legally operated on streets, highways, parks, sidewalks, beaches. They can only be legally operated at off-highway vehicle areas or on private property. In California, Vehicle Code Section 14607 makes parents responsible if their child is operating a street vehicle without a license. And lastly, if you are going to operate an electric motorcycle, please do so safely. Wear your proper safety equipment, including a helmet, goggles, boots, chest protector, gloves, pads. Never ride outside your skills and abilities, and absolutely do not ever ride under the influence. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Ranger Alberg and Van Doren. Next, I'd like to call up from the California Highway Patrol, Assistant Chief Stefanoff.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Real quick, as most of my counterparts had already touched on, the enforcement of our traffic safety laws pertaining to the e-bikes is very important. It's not so much the volume of these bikes out on our roads, but it's the manner in which they're used. Just like a regular bicyclist, you need to obey the rules of the road, traveling in the same direction, not on the sidewalks, not popping wheelies, and wearing your safety equipment. And that means wearing it properly, not buckled, the buckle strap hanging, not on your handlebars, not in your basket on the rear or the front, but to ensure the safety of not only the riders, but then the motorists that are traveling along. And it goes both ways. You have to be patient. Patient as a motorist and patient as an e-bicyclist. With that being said, you can go to our website, chp.ca.gov, and we have an actually online test, training for e-bike users. You can go through, click through the program, and give yourself another level of education and knowledge when it pertains to e-bike safety. In addition, our local CHP areas, a lot of our traffic jurisdictions where we're coming across these e-bikes and the accidents are in the unincorporated areas of the county. And with that being said, we make sure that our area commanders are going out there and including, we've been doing bicycle rodeos for years with our local stakeholders. Now we've expanded that to involve the e-bikes and do the bicycle rodeos on training and education and different ways to approach operating these bicycles safely. Last, I just want to give you a brief statistics from 2024. In San Diego County alone, we had 82 e-bike crashes involving e-bikes. With that, the 82 crashes, 78 resulted in injuries. So you can see the statistics aren't well. Sorry, I'm waiting for it to pass. The statistics show that if you're not operating safely and become involved in a traffic crash involving an e-bike, the outcome that you are going to get seriously injured or hurt or gravely increases. Statewide, we've had 956 collisions involving e-bikes last year alone. And of those 956, 857 involved injuries to the rider or another motorist. Thank you.
Thank you, Assistant Chief Stefanoff. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Nina Liu and Bonsall from Scripps Health to offer medical information.
Hi, I'm Nina Liu from Scripps Memorial Hospital La Jolla. I'm one of the trauma surgeons, and I'm here with Dr. Vishal Bonsall as well, representing Scripps Health. I think that there are a number of certainly growing number of traumas that we're seeing with a variety of change in demographics. I know that at Scripps La Jolla, we're seeing younger and younger patients with the average age initially 45 in 2021, coming down to age 37 in 2025. About 81 of our patients are male. I don't know if Dr. Bonsall wants to share about the demographics he's seeing at Scripps Mercy, but our injuries vary from brain injuries, craniofacial injuries. We see people with spinal cord injuries and a lot of extremity fractures as well. So these are serious injuries, and often our patients need some time to participate in rehab before returning to home, or sometimes have long-lasting consequences as a result of their injuries. So certainly, e-bikes and e-bike related accidents are impacting our community as a whole. With respect to what else we're seeing at our hospital systems, we're seeing also an increased number of patients with crashes related to e-bikes. In 2021, we had 24. In 2022, we had 53. And 2024, we had 63. And in 2025, only in the first half, we have 37. And so we're seeing more than double, almost triple. Sorry. All right, can everyone hear me again? All right, so we're seeing more than double, almost triple the number of patients each year since 2021. And so there's definitely, action to be made. I think Scripps Health can participate in that by providing a variety of e-bike training services for teenagers especially. That covers traffic laws, how to avoid accidents, safety equipment, safe operations, and communication skills and best practices for riding in groups. I think we as a community can work together to help decrease the number of these injuries. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. I was echo the same sentiments that Dr. Liu had. At Scripps Mercy, our number of e-bike injuries has increased almost 15-fold since 2020. And it's pretty significant. What's interesting for us is that we're actually seeing more of the adult population. And in our patient population, about 50% of those patients from e-bike injuries are under the influence of drugs or alcohol. So that's a big area of prevention. We also see a lot of closed head injuries, a lot of extremity injuries, fractures of the spine and fractures of the ribs. And those are also, we believe, are very preventable. Just like seatbelts have prevented deaths and prevented injury, we think that good education and appropriate e-bike safety training can prevent a lot of these e-bike injuries. I would say this, and it's happy to see so many law enforcement officials here. I have a 14-year-old and 13-year-old. Every one of these folks are modifying their e-bikes. They call them mods. So e-bikes go from 20 to 25 capped, and they can modify them to 30 to 40 miles per hour. And we're hoping that with parental support, and we have a very strong injury prevention program at Scripps Mercy, we're hoping that we can prevent a lot of these modifications, improve safety in terms of equipment wearing and helmets, and prevent these injuries that we believe are completely preventable in nature. Thank you very much.
Thank you again. I'd like to thank all of the leaders from the more than 16 agencies across the county for being here to show our shared enforcement posture and our concerns here. As a reminder for our communities, if you're buying one of these bikes, please know how, where, and the laws of who can ride them. We'll be available for one-on-one interviews after. Thank you.